kid doesn't stand a chance.
Well, I left it in the car. It's hot in here. That was boring. Really boring. I mean, like,
Murder in the first degree, premeditated homicide, is the most serious charge tried in our criminal courts. You have heard a long and complex case, jurors, and it is now your duty to sit down to try and separate the facts from the fancy. One man is dead. The life of another is at stake. If there is a reasonable doubt in your minds as to the guilt of the accused, then you must declare him not guilty. If, however, there is no reasonable doubt, then he must be found guilty. Whichever way you decide, the verdict must be unanimous. I urge you to deliberate honestly and thoughtfully. You are faced with a grave
thank you.
responsibility.
You know something?
I know a lot of things. I'm an advertiser.
No, it's hot.
Oh, it's hot. I would have never guessed that. What, could you?
I suppose now, kind of forgotten.
What do you mean you've forgotten? All we've done all day is sweat.
I bet you aren't sweating like that kid who was trying.
You'd think they'd at least air condition the place. I almost dropped dead in court.
My taxes are high enough.
This should go fast anyway.
Yeah. It's hot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's here. If you need anything, I'll be right outside. Just knock.
Hey, is yours?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Did he lock that door?
Yeah, he did.
What do they think we are, crooks? They locked us up for a little while. And then they locked that kid up forever, and that's okay with me.
I never knew they did that.
Of course they do that. What did you think?
I just never knew. It never occurred to me.
Shall we all admit now that it's hot and humid and our tempers are short?
Yeah, it's been a pretty hard week. I feel just fine.
I wonder what's going on in the office. You know how it is in advertising. 6 days, I could lose my job. Whole company, too. They aren't gonna like this.
We'll figure it out. It's our duty.
Well, I'm not objecting to my duty. I'm just saying that I may not have a job by the time we're done.
Why don't you ask him to hire me? He's rich. Look at his suit. Is it custom tailored?
Yes, it is.
I have an uncle who's a sailor.
How did you do?
Not too well, you know. That's a friend of my uncle. Well, he wanted to be on this jury in my place.
Why didn't you let him? I would have done anything to assist.
And get caught or something? You know what kind of fine I could get for that? Anyway, this friend of my uncle's, well, he was on a jury just like this one, about 10 years ago.
Oh, so what happened?
Let him off, reasonable doubt. You know what? About 8 years later, they found that he actually did it. A guilty man. A murderer let loose on the streets. Did they get him?
They couldn't.
Why not?
A man can't be held in double jeopardy. Unless it's a hung jury, you can't try a man twice for the same crime.
That isn't gonna happen here.
6 days. They should have finished it in 2. Just talk, talk, talk. Did you ever hear so much talk about nothing?
Well, I guess they're entitled.
Everybody gets a fair trial. That's the system.
How did you like that business about the knife? Did you ever hear a phonier story?
I mean, you shouldn't be surprised. You know these people lie.
He bought a switch knife that night.
And then he lost
A hole in his pocket.
a hole in his father.
It's awful way to put a lot of a knife in his hair.
You know what we're dealing with here.
All right, everybody, let's take our seats.
Right, this better be fast. I've got tickets for Hamilton for tonight. I must be the only girl in the world who hasn't
The
seen it.
show is novelty.
All right, Your Honor, let's start the show.
Excuse me, lady by the window. How about sitting down? Excuse me, hello.
Sorry.
Oh, here. Take my chair.
Thank you. You know, it's tough to figure, isn't it? A kid kills his father, bang. Just like that. It is the element, I'm telling you. They let these kids run wild. Maybe it serves them right.
There are better proofs than some emotion you may have. Fact or dislike for some group.
We all agreed it was hot.
Yeah, I'm tempers. We'll be short.
That's if we disagree, but this is open and shut. Let's just get it done.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to make any rules or anything. If you guys want to talk first and then vote, that's okay. If you just want to vote first and see where we stand, that's cool too.
Let's vote now. Who knows? Maybe we could all go home.
Yeah, right?
Let's vote.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, anybody object?
That was easy.
All those voting guilty, raise your hands. 8, 9, 10, 11 for guilty, okay, not guilty.
Oh, you can't be serious.
Hey, you're on left field.
Okay, 11 for guilty, 1 for not guilty. Now we know where we stand.
It's just common sense, isn't it?
Do you really believe he's not guilty?
I don't know. After 6 days, she doesn't know.
In 6 days, I can learn calculus. This is ABC.
I don't believe it's as simple as ABC.
Well, I've never seen a guiltier man in my life.
And what exactly does guilty look like to you? Are we to judge in his face? He isn't guilty until we say he's guilty.
You sat right in the courtroom and heard the exact same things that I did. The man's a dangerous killer. You could see it.
And where do you go looking to see if a man's a killer?
Oh, well.
I'd like to know. Tell me, what are the facial characteristics of a killer? Maybe you know something I don't.
Look, what is there about the case that makes you think the boy is innocent?
He's a 19-year-old boy.
That's old enough. He knifed his own father 4 inches into the chest. An innocent little 19-year-old kid.
I agree with you that the boy is guilty, but let's be fair.
Okay. They proved it in a dozen different ways. Do you want me to list them?
No. Do you believe the kid's story?
No.
Do you believe the stupid kid's story? I don't know whether or not if I believe it. Maybe I don't.
So what'd you vote not guilty for?
There were 11 votes for guilty. It's not that easy for me to just raise my hand and send a boy off to die without talking about it first.
Who says it's easy for me?
Or me.
No one.
He's still just as guilty, whether it's an easy vote or a hard vote.
Is there something wrong because I voted fast?
Not necessarily.
Look, I think the kid's guilty. You couldn't convince me if you talked for 100 years.
I don't want to convince you.
Then just what are you thinking of?
Look, I want to talk for a while. This kid has been kicked around all his life. Living in the slums, mother dead since he was 9. That's not an easy start. He's a tough, angry kid. And you know why slum kids get that way? Because we kick him around every day Wednesday. I just think we owe him a few words, that's all.
Sure, it was hard. It was hard for me. Everything I got, I fought for. I worked my way through college, and that was a long time ago. Sometimes you forget. Yes, I fought, but I never killed.
I know what it's like. I never killed anybody.
When I've been kicked around too, imagine working in an ad agency and the big boy who buys the ad comes storming in. We all know.
In my country, in Syria, kicking was more of a science, but let's try to find something a little better than that.
Listen, lady. I don't mind telling you this, but we don't know that kid a thing. He got a fair trial, didn't he? Because he's lucky he got that. Do you have any idea what that costs? So you are not going to sit here and tell all of us adults that we're wrong knowing what he is. These people lie. I know that, and you all know that.
I don't know that. What a terrible thing for a woman to believe. Since when is dishonesty a group characteristic?
All right, it's not Sunday. We don't need a sermon.
What this woman's saying is very dangerous.
I don't see any need for arguing. I think we ought to be able to behave ourselves.
Yes, you insist.
Thank you. Why, if we're going to discuss the case, well, let's discuss the facts.
I think that's a good point. We have a job to do. Let's do it.
If you all don't mind, I'm going to close the window. It was blowing.
If you don't mind, I'd like to have the window open.
It was blowing on my neck.
Don't you want a little air? It's summer. It's
I
hot.
was very
There
uncomfortable.
are 11 of us in this room. It's the only window.
I have some rights, too.
So do we.
Wouldn't you rather trade seats with someone at the other end of the table?
Fine. I will leave the window open if someone trades chairs with me.
Take my chair.
Thank you.
Shall we get back to the game? Yeah, let's.
Okay, hey, listen, I may have an idea here. And I'm just thinking out loud. It seems to me that it's up to us to convince this lady that we're right and she's wrong. So maybe, right, we can go around in a circle and talk for a minute or two. Try it out for size.
Sounds fair enough.
There you go.
So do we go once around the table?
Okay, let's start it off.
All right, let's start with you.
Oh, well, I just think he's guilty. I thought it was obvious.
In what ways was it obvious?
I mean, I know that nobody's proved otherwise.
Nobody has to prove otherwise. The defendant doesn't have to open its mouth. The guilt of the boy, nobody has to prove otherwise. It's in the Constitution, the Fifth Amendment. You've heard of it.
Everyone has.
Well, sure, I've heard of it. I know what it is. What I meant. Well, anyway, I think he's guilty.
No reasons, just guilty. There's a life at stake.
Okay, let's get to the facts. Let's take the old man who lived on the second floor underneath the room where the murder took place. At 10 minutes after 12 on the night of the killing, he heard loud noises in the upstairs apartment and said it sounded like a fight. Then he heard the kid say to his father, "I'm gonna kill you." A second later, he heard the father's body falling, ran to the door of his house, looked out and saw the kid running down the stairs and out of the apartment. They called the police. They came and found the father with a knife in his chest.
And the coroner fixed the time of death around midnight.
Now, what else do you want?
I don't know, it doesn't seem to fit.
The boy's entire story is flimsy. He claims he was at the movies. That's a little ridiculous, isn't it? He doesn't even remember what movie he saw.
That's right. Did you hear that? You're absolutely right.
He didn't have any ticket stub.
Who keeps a ticket stub at the movies?
That's true enough.
I suppose the cashier didn't remember it.
The ticket taker didn't either.
Listen, what about the woman across the street? If her testimony doesn't prove it, then nothing will.
That's right, she saw the killing, didn't she?
All right, listen. So here's a lady who's lying in bed. She can't sleep. It's hot, you know? So she walks over, she looks outside of the window, and sees the kid stick a knife into his father. Weren't you just telling us a minute or two ago that you can't trust them? That you don't believe them? So? Well, let me ask you this. Why do you believe her? She's one of them too, isn't she? You know, you are a real smart lady, aren't you?
Now take it easy. What are you letting her get you all excited for? Relax.
Weren't we talking about elevated trains?
Yes, we were.
So?
All right.
I don't think you were.
Yeah,
But
okay.
At all.
I don't know.
We were going around the table.
Elevated trains have nothing to
Oh,
do with
yeah.
this.
Surely don't think so, does he?
Next around the table.
Fine. The foreman knows. Who's next?
how about you?
Oh, it's my turn? I'll pass it.
That's your privilege. How about you?
I don't know. I started to be convinced, you know, with the testimony from the people across the hall. Didn't they say there was a fight between the father and the boy around 7 o'clock? I could be wrong.
I believe it was 8 o'clock, not 7.
8 o'clock, that's right.
They heard the father hit the boy twice and saw the boy walk angrily out of the house.
Right. But what does that prove?
It doesn't prove anything. It's just part of the picture. I didn't say it proved anything.
Anything else?
No.
I don't know. Most of it's been said already. We can talk about this thing all day. I think we're wasting our time.
I don't.
Neither do I. Go on.
Look at the kid's record. He stole a car. He's been arrested for mugging. I think they said he stabbed somebody in the arm.
They did.
He was picked up for knife fighting. At 15, he was sent to reform school.
And they sent him to reform school for stabbing someone.
This is a very fine boy.
Ever since he was 5 years old, his father beat him up regularly. He uses fists.
So would I on a kid like that.
You're right. It's the kids, the way they are. They don't listen. I'll tell you something. I've got a kid. When he was 8 years old, I saw him run away from a fight. And I was so embarrassed. I told him flat out, I said, I'm going to make a man out of you. I'm going to bust you up into little pieces trying. When he was 15, he hit me in the face. He's big, you know? I haven't seen him in 3 years. Rotten kid. I hate tough kids. You work your heart out and... Alright, let's get them.
We're missing the point here. Let's say this boy's a product of a filthy neighborhood and a broken home. We can't stop that. We're not here to go into the reasons why slums are breeding grounds for criminals. They are. I know it, so do you. The children who come out of slum backgrounds are potential menaces to society.
Exactly. I don't want nothing to do with him.
I've lived in slum all my life. I used to spend a backyard that was filled with garbage, but you can still smell it on me.
Now take it easy. There's nothing personal going on.
There is something personal.
Hey, she didn't mean you, man. Let's not be so sensitive.
Who did she mean?
Let's stop the bickering.
Come on, we're wasting time.
Your turn.
All right. I had a peculiar feeling about this case. For some reason, I felt that the defense counsel never really conducted a thorough cross-examination. Too many questions were left unasked.
Right. So,
This is a point.
what about facts?
Too many questions were left unanswered.
What about the questions that were answered? For instance, let's take that cute little switch knife. You know, the one that the fine, upright boy admitted buying?
All right, let's get it in here. Miss Foreman, I'd like to see the switchblade.
We all know what it looks like. I don't see why we have to look at it again. What do you think?
The woman has a right to see exhibits and evidence.
Fine.
Now, this sounds a pretty strong piece of evidence, don't you think?
Yes, I do.
Now, let's get the sequence of events right as they relate to the knife.
Yes, the boy admits in the house at 8 o'clock, you agree, after being slapped by his father.
Or punched.
Or punch. The boy went to a neighborhood store and bought a switch knife. The storekeeper was arrested the following morning after admitted selling it to the boy.
We all agree that it's an unusual knife. It's pretty hard to forget something like that.
The storekeeper identified the knife and said it's one of its kind he had in stock. Now, why did the boy buy it?
As a present for a friend of his, he says.
Am I right so far?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, you bet he's right. I want you to listen to this man because he knows what he's talking about.
Next, the boy claims that on the way home, the knife must have fallen through a hole in his coat pocket, that he never saw it again. Now, everyone connected with the case identified this knife. Are you trying to tell me that someone picked this knife up off the street, went up to the boy's home, and stabbed his father with it just to be amusing?
No. I'm saying that it's possible that the boy lost the knife and someone else stabbed his father with a similar knife. It's possible.
Take a look at that knife. It's a very strange knife. I haven't seen one like it before in my life, neither the storekeeper who sold it to the boy. Are you trying to make us accept a pretty incredible coincidence?
No. I'm not trying to make you guys accept anything. I'm just saying it's possible.
And I'm saying that it's not possible.
Whoa!
What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Who do you think you are?
Look at it, it's the
Stay
same knife.
quiet! Let's be quiet!
Where did you get that knife?
I got it from a junk shop around the corner from the boys' house. It cost $10.
Okay, listen to me.
I'm listening.
You pulled a really smart trick here, but you proved absolutely zero. Maybe there are 10 knives like that, so what?
Maybe they are.
The boy lied and you know it.
But maybe he didn't lie. Maybe he did go to the movies, and maybe the reason the cashier didn't recognize him was because he snuck into the movies and he was too ashamed to say so. Are there any of you who haven't snuck into the movies once or twice when you were young?
I will. Really? Not even once?
We did not have movies in my day.
Maybe he went to the movies, maybe he didn't. And maybe he lied. Do you think he lied? Of course he lied. That's a stupid question. What about you?
I don't know.
What are you, the guy's lawyer? Listen, there are 11 of us who think he's guilty. You're alone. What do you think you're going to accomplish? If you want to be stubborn and hang this jury, that kid will be tried again and found guilty as sure as he's born.
Probably right.
So what are you going to do about it? We could be here all night.
It's only one night. A man may die.
Oh, no.
Well, yes, that's true.
I think we ought to get on with it now. Right. Let's get going here.
Now, how do you like this chick?
Well, what do you say? You're the one holding up the show.
Surely you don't think the boy's guilty.
I have a doubt in my mind.
But you haven't really presented us with any of the scout. You see, there's the old man downstairs. He heard it. He heard the boy scream it out.
The woman across the L track, she saw it.
And we know he bought a switch knife that night, but we don't know where he really was. At the movies?
And that night, the kid and his father did have a fight.
He's been a violent kid all the way, and while that doesn't prove anything,
Still no. I got a proposition to you. I want to call for a vote. I want you 11 men to vote by a secret ballot. I'll abstain. If there's still 11 votes for guilty, I won't stand alone. We'll take in a guilty verdict right now.
Okay. I can roll with that.
All right, does everyone agree?
I certainly am.
Do it.
Sure. This is it.
Okay, take one, pass it down, write guilty or innocent, hold it, pass it back up.
Yeah.
Alright.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Music's my ear.
Guilty. 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 That's 6. Please.
Come on, are you excited too?
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Let's pack it up.
Not guilty.
What?
What?
Guilty.
Who was
No,
it?
you're joking. You're
I
kidding
think
me.
we have a right to know.
Okay. Who did it? What idiot changed their vote?
Is that any way to talk about a man's life?
Well, whose life are you talking about? The life of the dead man or the life of the murderer?
I want to know who.
So do I.
Excuse me, I thought this was a secret
No
ballot.
one looked while we did it, but now I want to know who.
A secret ballot. We all agreed to this. No. If the gentleman wants it to remain a secret.
What do you mean? There are no secrets in here. I know who it was. What's the matter with you, huh? You come in here and you vote guilty, and then this slick preacher starts to tear your heart out with stories about a poor little kid who just couldn't help becoming a murderer? So you change your vote. If that isn't the most sick
Now
of
hold it.
I agree with you. It's guilty. Let's be fair.
Hold it. Be fair. That's just what I'm saying. We're trying to put a guilty man into the chair where he belongs, and all of a sudden we're paying attention to fairy tales.
Now just a minute.
Now listen to me. Let's try to keep this organized.
It isn't organized, but let's be civilized.
Please. I would like to say something here. It has always been my belief that a man was entitled to have unpopular opinions in this country. It is one of the reasons why I came here. I want to have the right to disagree.
Do you disagree with us?
Usually I would. In this one instance, I agree with you. But the point that I wish to make is that in my own country, I am ashamed to...
Hey, are we gonna sit here and listen to the whole backstory of your country?
It's always wise to bear in mind what has happened in other countries when people aren't allowed to disagree.
Sure.
But we are, so let's stick to the subject.
Right, let's stick to the subject. I want to ask you, What made you change your vote?
I want to know too. You haven't told us yet.
Why do you think I changed my vote?
Because I do. Now get on with it.
There's nothing for him to tell you. He didn't change his vote. I did.
I was going to tell you, but you're so sure of yourself.
Oh, sorry. Okay, now.
Maybe you'd like to know why.
Let me tell you why that
The
kid.
man wants to talk.
Thank you. This woman chose not to stand alone against us. That's her right. It takes a great deal of courage to stand alone, even if you believe in something very strongly. She left the verdict up to us. She gambled for support, and I gave it to her. I want to learn more. It was no 10 to 2.
Listen, as much as I enjoyed that little speech, if you're done, can we move on? Can we just move on here?
If there was anything in the boys' favor, I'd vote not guilty.
I don't see what it is.
Yeah, neither do I. They're clutching at straws.
As guilty as they get, that's a kid, I suppose.
Yeah, it's that one Drew that's holding out, but she'll come around eventually. She's got to. Fundamentally, she's a very reasonable person.
I guess so.
They haven't come up with one real fact yet to back up a non-guilty verdict.
It's hard, you know?
It is, and what does guilty beyond a reasonable doubt even mean?
It is a reasonable doubt.
Exactly, what's a reasonable doubt? When a life is at stake, what is it? You gotta have law and order. You gotta draw the line somewhere. If you didn't, everyone would start knifing people.
Not much doubt here.
Some people think so. I wonder why. I really wonder why.
You just go into that innocent men who are wanting to go, or death sometimes. Then you think they're being cut out.
Then on the other hand, you hear stories of some killers get turned loose and do it again. They squeeze out some technicality and kill again.
Hey, look, buddy. Now that we've kind of cooled off, I was just a little excited a minute ago. You know how it is. I didn't mean to get nasty. It's nothing personal.
Okay.
Look, supposing you answer me this. If the kid didn't kill him, who did?
As far as I know, we are supposed to decide whether or not the boy on trial is guilty. We're not concerned with anyone else's motives here.
I suppose, but who else had a motive?
The kid's father was along in years, maybe an old grudge.
Remember, it's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. This is a very important thing to remember.
Everyone's a lawyer. Hey, supposing you explain to us what your reasonable doubts are?
This is easy. So far, it's only a feeling. A feeling. Perhaps you don't understand.
I don't. No, I don't. I really don't.
A feeling. So are we going to sit here and spend the whole night talking about your feelings? Because what about the facts, huh?
You said a mouthful. The old man heard the kid say to his father, "I'm going to kill you," and saw the boy running down the stairs and out of the house 15 seconds after that.
Where's the reasonable doubt in that?
That's right, and let's not forget the woman across the street. She looked through the open window and saw the boy stab his father. She saw it.
That's not enough for you.
It's not enough.
Then what is enough for you? I'd like to know.
How about you think about it? Give me your paper. Let's take some back there.
All right.
This isn't a
What are
case.
you doing? What's
This
wrong
is a
with
man's life.
Who do you think you are? All right, let's take it easy.
I've got a good mind to walk around this table and belch her.
Now,
words,
please,
alright?
I don't want any fights in here.
Did you see her? Did you see her? The nerve. The absolute nerve.
All right, calm down. Don't mean anything by it.
Yeah, how about sitting down? This isn't a game. Who does she think she is?
I really don't understand. Does anyone else have any more commentary? Because I
Alright,
seriously.
so, aren't we talking about elevated trains?
Yes, we were.
So?
All right. How long does it take an L train to pass this given point going at top speed?
I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
Neither would I. How long does it take? Guess.
I don't know.
It probably takes about 10 or 12 seconds.
Okay.
I would think about 10 seconds for that.
About 10 seconds, yes.
I'd say
So
that's
we're
a fair
agreed.
guess.
10 seconds. What are you getting at?
This. An L train takes 10 seconds to pass this given speed. That given point is at the window in which the killing took place. You can almost reach your hand out the window and touch the L, am I right?
That's right. I tried it.
So?
The old man downstairs heard the boy say,
He didn't say it. He screamed it.
heard the boy scream, "I'm gonna kill you." Then 1 second later heard the body fall. 1 second, that's the testimony, right?
Right.
The woman across the street looked through the windows of the last two cars and saw the body fall, right?
So,
The last two cars. The last two cars.
Okay, what's your point?
An L train takes 10 seconds to pass a given point, or 2 seconds per car. That L had been going by for at least 6 seconds or more before the body fell, according to the woman. The old man downstairs would have had to hear the boy say, "I'm gonna kill you," while the front of the L was going past his nose.
I don't think it's possible he could have heard it.
What do you mean? Sure, he could have heard it.
With an L train going by?
He said the boy yelled it
An
out.
L makes a lot of noise.
It's enough for me.
It's enough for me, too.
I don't think he could have heard it.
Maybe the old man didn't hear it. I mean, with the L noise.
What are you people talking about? Are you calling the old man a liar?
Something doesn't seem to fit.
I mean, it does stand to reason.
You're crazy. Why would he lie? What's he got to gain?
Attention, maybe.
You keep coming up with these bright sayings. Why don't you send one down to the newspaper? They pay you $2.
What's that got to do with the man's life? Why might the old man would have lied? You have a right to be heard.
Just that I looked at him for a very long time. The seam of his jacket was split under his arm. Did you notice that? He was an old man with a torn jacket and he carried 2 canes. I think I know him better than anybody here. This was a quiet, frightening, insignificant man that's been nothing all his life. No recognition. His name is newspaper. Nobody knows him after 75 years. This is a very sad thing. A man like this needs to be recognized, to be questioned, to be listened to, and quoted just once. This is very important.
Okay, so what you're trying to tell us here is that he would lie about something like this just to be important.
No, he wouldn't really lie, but maybe he'll make himself believe he saw the boy's face.
Make himself believe.
Well,
Case closed.
that's the most fantastic story that I've ever heard. How can you make up a thing like that?
I'm not making it
Oh
up.
no, you must be making it up. People don't lie about things like that.
He would have made himself believe he told the truth.
Okay, well what do you know about it?
I speak from experience.
What?
I am the same man.
Too old to drive, too old to serve on board. Anyway.
Okay, I mean,
I think we all understand now. Thank you.
if you want to admit that you're a liar, it's all right by me.
Now that is too much.
He's a liar. He just told us
He
so.
did not say he was lying. He was explaining.
Didn't you say that you're a liar?
Please, he was explaining the circumstances so we can understand why might the old man would have lied. There's a difference.
A liar's a liar. That's all there is to it.
Have some compassion.
Please, we have our job and our duty here.
I think they've got it covered.
I hope we have.
Is there anything else? Cough drop? No, thank you. Does anybody want a cough drop?
I would like to at this moment, right now.
What?
Come on, people.
Come on, let's get on with it.
I'll take one. Now I think we covered that the old man couldn't have heard the boy say, "I'm going to kill you."
I disagree.
Yeah, we did.
Let her speak.
But supposing the old man really did hear the boy say, "I'm going to kill you." This phrase, how many times have each of you used it? Probably hundreds. If you do that once more, Junior, I'll murder you. Come on, Rocky, kill him. We use this phrase every day, but it doesn't really mean we're going to kill someone.
Don't the circumstances alter that somewhat?
The man was murdered.
One thing more, the phrase was, "I'm going to kill you," and the boy screamed it at the top of his lungs.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you really think the boy would yell at a thing like that so the whole neighborhood could hear? I don't think so. He's much too bright for that.
Right? He's a common ignorant slob. You don't even speak good English.
He doesn't even speak good English.
The boy's clever enough.
I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
Oh, brother, man, why? What's going on?
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Vote is 9-3 in favor of guilty.
Oh.
I'd like to know why you changed your vote.
I believe there's a doubt.
Where? What is the doubt?
There's the knife.
Oh, fine! So she talked you into believing in a fairy tale.
Go on, give us the reasons.
The old man too. Maybe he didn't lie, but then maybe he did. Maybe he just didn't like the kid.
Well, if that isn't the end,
There is a reasonable doubt.
what are you basing it on? Stories that this woman made up? She ought to write for Amazing Detective Monthly. She'd make a fortune. Listen, the kid had lawyers, didn't he? Why didn't they bring up all these points?
Lawyers can't think of everything.
Oh, brother, you sit in here and pull stories out of thin air. Now we're supposed to believe that the old man didn't get out of bed, run to the door, and see the kid beat it downstairs 15 seconds after the killing?
That's the testimony, I believe.
And the old man swore to this. Yes, he swore to this only so he could seem important.
Did he say he ran to the door?
Ran, walked, what's the difference? He got there.
I don't remember what he said, but I don't see how he could run.
I remember. He said he went to the door. He went from his bedroom door to the front door. Isn't that enough?
Where was his bedroom again?
Down the hall somewhere.
Down the hall somewhere? Are we just send a man off to die because his bedroom is down the hall somewhere?
Listen, honey, I thought
it either.
Of course you don't. Miss Foreman, I'd like to take a look at the diagram.
Why don't we have them run the whole trial over so you can get everything straight?
His bedroom is down the hall somewhere. Do you know? Do you know exactly where it is? There's a life at stake. Do you know?
Well,
Miss Foreman.
I heard you. Okay. What's this one for? How come you're the only one in the room that wants to see exhibits all the time?
I want to see this one too.
So do I.
And I want to stop wasting time.
Oh, are you also going to start waiting for all the nonsense about where the body was found?
We are going to figure out how an old man who has had 2 strokes in the past 3 years and who carries canes could possibly get to the door in 15 seconds.
He said 20 seconds.
He said 15.
How does he know how long 15 seconds is? You can't judge that sort of thing.
You said 15. He was very positive about it.
He's an old man. You saw that. Half the time he was confused. How could he be positive about anything? Well, you know.
No, I don't. Maybe you know.
Is this a true looking?
Yes, thank you.
No problem, Miss Red.
Just what you want.
Yes, please.
do me a favor and wake me up when this is over.
I looked at that diagram for 2 hours. Enough is enough.
Some of us are interested. Go ahead.
All right. This is the apartment in which the killing took place. The old man's apartment is directly beneath it and exactly the same. Here are the L tracks, the bedroom, another bedroom, living room, bathroom, kitchen. And here's the hall. Here's the front door, and here are the steps. Now the old man was in bed in this room. He says he got up, went into the hall, down the hall, and looked out just in time to see the boy racing down the stairs. Am I correct?
That's the story.
That's what happened.
15 seconds later, you heard the body fall.
Correct.
The bedroom is near the window. The bed is near the window. It's 12 feet away from the door. The hall is 43 feet 6 inches deep. Now, the old man had to get up, walk 12 feet, open the door, walk 43 feet, and look out just in time to see the boy racing down the stairs, all in 15 seconds. Now, do you think that's possible?
Of course it's possible. He would have been in a hurry because he did hear the scream.
He walked very slowly. They hadn't helped him into the witness.
You're making it sound like it's a long walk. It's not.
For a man who uses 2 canes, it's a long walk.
Now what are you doing?
I want to try this thing.
Okay.
Let's see how long it took him. I'm going to pace off 12 feet. The length of the bedroom.
You're crazy. You can't recreate a thing like that.
Perhaps if we could see this. This is an important point.
It's a ridiculous waste of time. Let her do it.
Foolish, but go ahead.
Lean in your chair. This is the bedroom door. How far would you say it is from here to the door and back?
I'd say 20 feet, just about.
20 feet is close enough? All right. So from here and the door and back is about 40 feet. Shorter than the length of the hall that the old man had to go through, wouldn't you say?
A few feet, maybe.
This is absolutely insane. What makes you think you can do this?
We can't stop her.
According to you, only takes 15 seconds. We can spare that. Do you mind if I try? Who here has got a watch with a second hand?
I got one.
When I'm ready, I want you to stomp your foot. I'll be the body fall.
Okay, what time you come in?
Let's say he keeps his canes at his bedside, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm waiting for the hand to be at 60.
How? Speed it up. You walk twice as fast.
This is, I think, even faster than he walked in the courtroom.
No, it isn't.
If you think I should go faster, I will.
Speed it up a little.
Come on. You're ruining the heels.
A little more.
Stop.
Great.
What's the time?
15, 20, 30, 35, 39 seconds.
Not
Oh, wait, smart.
39 seconds.
Now that's interesting.
Hey, now you know.
How do you like that?
39 seconds. 39.
And the old cripple swore that it was only 15.
I could understand if the old man was off by a few seconds, maybe, but 24 seconds, well, you know.
Far be it from me to call anyone alive, even on slight bit of time difference between the old man and, well, you. There's still
Quite a discrepancy.
It's my guess that the old man heard someone racing down the stairs and assumed it was the boy.
I think that's possible.
Assumed? Now listen to me, you people. I've seen all kinds of dishonesty in my day, but this little display takes the cake.
What dishonesty?
Tell her. You come in here with your heart bleeding all over the floor about some kids and injustice, and you've got some soft-hearted old ladies listening to you. Well, I'm not. I'm getting really sick of you. What's the matter with you people, huh? This kid is guilty. He's got a burn. We're letting him slip through our fingers.
Our fingers? What, he was executioner?
I'm one of them.
Perhaps you like to pull a switch.
Oh, for this kid, you bet I like to pull the switch.
I feel sorry for you.
Don't even start with me.
You are a sadist.
Shut up.
You want this kid to die because you personally want it, not because of the facts. You are a beast.
Shut up.
You don't really mean you'll kill me, do you?
Is anything wrong, ladies and gentlemen? I heard a little bit of noise.
No, nothing's wrong. You take that. I'm done with it.
Okay.
Well, what are you looking at?
I don't see why we have to behave like children here.
Nor do I. We have a responsibility. This is the remarkable thing about democracy, that we are, what is the word that we are notified. Yes, that we are notified by mail to come down to this place and decide on the guilt or innocence of a man we have not known before. We have nothing to gain or lose by this verdict. This is one of the reasons why we are strong. We should not make this a personal thing.
Very much.
Why do you think?
We forget. It's nice to be reminded.
I'm glad that we're going to be civilized about this.
Well, we're still nowhere.
No, we're somewhere getting there, maybe.
Maybe.
Has anyone got any ideas?
I think maybe we should try another vote, Miss Foreman.
All right, here's what this calls for. Anybody object? I want an open ballot. I want to see who stands where. All right? Is everyone agreed? Let's go the quickest ways, call it off 3 numbers. Okay. I vote guilty. 2,
Not guilty.
3,
Guilty.
4,
Guilty.
5,
Not guilty.
6,
Not guilty.
7,
Guilty.
8,
Not guilty.
9,
Not guilty.
10,
Guilty.
11,
Not guilty.
12.
Guilty.
That's 6 to 6.
You know, I will tell you something. The crime is being committed right in this room.
The vote is 6 to 6. I'm ready to walk into court right now and declare a hung jury. There's no point in this going on anymore.
I'd like to know why you changed your vote. And why you changed your vote. And why you did. There's 6 people here who think we're turning a murderer loose on the streets. Emotions won't do. Why?
old man saw the boy run downstairs. I don't estimate likely if the old man heard the boy scream, I'm gonna kill you. Old man dreamed. And if the boy did scream, I'm gonna kill you, then we have the authority of this woman to prove that he's not gonna kill.
Why don't we take it into the judge and have the kid take his chances on 12 other people?
It's 6 to 6. I don't think we're ever going to agree on anything.
No, it's got to be unanimous, and we're never going to convince her.
At first I was alone. Now 5 others agree. There is a doubt.
You can't ever convince me that there's a doubt because I know that there isn't any
I
doubt.
tell you what, maybe we are a hung jury. You know, it happens sometimes.
We are not going to be a hung jury.
Well, we are, right now. A perfect balance. Let's take it into the judge.
If there is a reasonable doubt, I don't see it.
There is doubt in my mind.
Maybe we should vote
What? We just voted.
Not again.
Vote on what?
whether we are or aren't a hung jury.
You mean we vote yes, we are a hung jury, or no, we are not a hung jury?
That's just what I was thinking
We
of.
can't even agree on whether the window should be open.
Then let's make it a majority vote. Majority wins.
If 7 or more of us vote yes that we're a hung jury, then we tell the judge we're a hung jury.
Right. And if 7 more vote no, then we are a hung jury and we go on discussing it.
Doesn't seem quite right to me.
It's the only solution.
I agree. It's the only way.
Anything to end this.
All right. Are we agreed then? 7 more vote yes, and we'll take it to the judge. I vote yes. We are a hung jury. 2.
No.
3.
Yes.
4.
Yes.
5.
No.
6.
No.
7.
Yes.
8.
No.
9.
No.
10.
Yes.
11.
No.
12.
Yes.
Oh no.
It's 6 to 6.
We can't even get a majority side rather than I were a hung jury.
I went along with the majority vote on this question, and I didn't agree with voting that way, and I still don't. So I'm changing my vote. No, we're not a hung jury. I believe this boy is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. There are a few things I'd like to learn from the people that changed their minds.
So then we are a hung jury. We go on discussing it.
Good, so we go on.
Why did you change your mind?
Well, she seems so sure. She has made a number of good points. But she only gets mad and insults everybody.
Does the anger and insult change the guilt of the boy? He did do it. Or are you going to turn a murderer loose because one of the jurors gets angry when a murderer is being turned loose?
That's true.
There is a doubt.
I don't think so. The track is straight in front of the window. Let's take that point. L trains make a low, rumbling noise. They screech around curves, so the old man could have heard the boy scream, which is high-pitched. And it is a tenement, so they have very thin walls.
Good, good. That's it. That's it.
And what if the old man was wrong about the time it took him to get to the door, but right about who he saw? Please remember, there weren't any fingerprints on the knives, and it's summer, so gloves seem unlikely.
Now I want you to listen to this man because he knows what's up.
Oh,
It might have taken the murderer a few seconds to wipe away all the fingerprints.
this is the point?
How about we time this one just to see?
Just what are we timing?
Yes, let's be exact.
I'm saying that the old man might have been wrong about the time it took him to get to the door, but right about who he saw. It may have taken the murderer about 39 seconds to wipe away the fingerprints, run down the hall and down the stairs to where the old man saw him. The boy, that is.
This is right.
We reconstructed the old man getting out of bed, walking to the door, and we timed that. Now let's reconstruct the actual crime.
As well as we can reconstruct it.
I think a murderer could use up 30 or 40 seconds pretty easily at that point.
Let's reconstruct the killing.
Yes, let's.
Here. You do this now.
No, I'll do it.
Why don't you be the one who falls? You're younger than I am, and don't forget you take 2 seconds to fall.
And he fell on his side, his right side, so fall on your right side. If someone hates another person enough to murder them, don't you think they'd look at their victim for a few seconds?
Divorce yourself in this particular case. This is just human nature.
Yes, it seems reasonable.
Good golly.
Hey, wait a minute. He falls and he ends up on his right side. The father did, but stabbing someone isn't like shooting them, even when it's right in the heart. The father would have worked around for a few seconds on the floor, writhing maybe.
That seems quite possible. There would be enough oxygen in his system to carry him for a few seconds, I should think.
What if the father had screamed out?
Maybe the kid held his mouth.
That seems reasonable.
There's also another point I'd like to make. If someone is clear enough mentally to wipe away the fingerprints after murdering someone, well, that person's also clear enough mentally to look around the apartment, or the room in this case, to see if they left any clues behind. It would only take a few seconds, I should think, but still they'd look around. One doesn't talk about quality when murder's involved. Well, let's do it.
About the on the fingerprints. If I saw a man coming into my home, a man that hated me, wiping the doorknob, it would give me an uneasy feeling. So the doorknobs must have been wiped after the killing, and this too would take some time.
You time the last one. Why don't you time this one as well?
Alright.
Stop your foot when you want me to start.
Okay, I want the hand to be at 60.
I'm gonna kill you. He would have wiped both knobs. Stop.
20, 20, 25, 29, about 29 and a half seconds, I say.
There you go.
And whoever did murder the man, and I think it was the boy, that person knows how to run down the hall and down at least one flight of stairs.
You see?
So in view of this, you can assume that the old man might have been wrong about the time, but he did see the boy run down the stairs.
Okay, so now both time sequences check. You know, the one you did, but the one we did of running down the stairs and everything. Both of them check out on time.
Sure, he's an old man who wants attention. He's probably right, but the old man feels the same way everybody else does. A life is at stake.
So the story of the old man may well be true.
Except for the fact that he swore under oath that it only took 15 seconds.
You seem to all agree that it's from 20 to 40 seconds later.
I do admit that this does tend to confirm the story of the old man, but by his part he is now a proven liar. And that is by your own admission.
Well, that may be true that the old man lies in part, but I think it would change my vote once more. Good.
What about you? What do you think?
I'm not too sure what I think. I want to talk more. At first I thought guilty, then I changed. Now, I'm sort of swinging back to guilty.
And what about you?
No, I'm in real doubt now. Real doubt!
I say guilty. I was right the first time.
Now we're beginning to make sense in here.
Seems to be about 9 to 3. in
One more
favor of
question about the
guilty.
old man. How many of you live in an apartment?
I do not know what you're thinking, but I know what I'm thinking.
What's that?
I do not live in a tenement, but it is close, and there is just enough light in the hallways to see where you're going. The light bulbs are so small. Remember how we stumbled up the steps?
Yeah.
The police officers were using big bulbs. One even had a flashlight, remember?
And this murder took place in a tenement. So we have to believe that an old man who misjudged the time by 20 seconds, on this we all agree, this same old man looked down the dark hallway of a tenement and recognized a running figure?
He was 100% wrong about the time. It took twice as long as we thought.
Then could not the old man have been 100% wrong about who he saw?
That's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. You're making that up at thin air.
We're a hung jury. Let's be honest about it.
Do you truly believe there is no room for reasonable doubt?
Yes, I do.
I beg your pardon, but maybe you do not understand the meaning of the words reasonable doubt.
What do you mean I don't understand it? Who are you to talk to me like that? How do you like this guy? He comes running in here begging for his life, and before he can take a big breath, he's telling us how to run the show? The arrogance of him.
We're not asking where anyone came from.
I was born right
Or where
here.
their parents came from.
Maybe it wouldn't hurt us to take a few tips when people come running in here. Maybe they learn something we don't. We're not so perfect.
Please, I am used to this. Thank you. All right.
It's not all right.
All right. I apologize. Is that what you want?
That's what I want.
Who's got something constructive to say? Well, something has been bothering me a little. This whole business about the staple and how it was made, the downward angle of it, you know?
Don't tell me we're gonna start that. They went over it and over it. And
I know they did, but I don't go along with it. See, the boy is 5 feet, 8 inches tall, and his father was 6 feet, he's 2 inches tall. That's a difference of 6 inches. It's a very awkward thing to stab down into the chest of someone who's half a inch taller than you are.
Okay. I guess you're not gonna be satisfied until you see it again, so I'm just gonna give you a demonstration. Somebody get up.
I don't know.
Is that 6 inches?
That's more than 6 inches.
Okay, let it be more than.
No.
Whoa! Hey, it's too much.
That's not funny.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, nobody's hurt, are they?
No. Nobody's hurt.
Okay. So there's your angle, down and in. That's how I'd stab a taller man in the chest, and that's how it's done. Take a look at it and tell me I'm wrong.
Down in it. I guess there's no argument.
Have you ever stabbed a man?
Of course not.
Have you?
Alright, it's not be silly.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
Where do you get all this information about how it's done?
What are you talking about? It's just common sense.
Have you ever seen a man stabbed?
No.
Let me ask you this. This boy was an experienced knife fighter. He was even sent to reform school for knife fighting, am I right?
Yeah.
Take a look at this. Doesn't this seem like an awkward way to handle a knife?
What are you asking me for?
Wait a minute. What's the matter with me? Give me that knife.
Have you ever seen a knife fight?
Yes, I have.
In the movies?
In my backyard, on my stoop, in the vacant lot across the street. Too many of them. Switch knives came with the neighborhood where I lived. I guess you try to forget those things. Anyone who's ever used a switch knife before would not have stabbed overhand. You stabbed underhand.
Then he could have made the kind of wound that killed his father.
It's conceivable that he could have made the kind of wound, but not likely. Not if the kid had any experience with switch knives. And this kid had a lot of experience with switch knives.
I don't believe it.
I really don't either, because you're giving us a lot of nonsense here.
What do you think?
I don't know.
What about you?
We're wasting so much time. Why don't we just break it up and go home?
Before we decide anything else, I'd like to try to pull this thing together.
Oh, this should be good.
Okay, hey, listen. I'm in advertising, you know. I'm used to the big shots pulling things together all the time. You know, we've already been here all day. You know, what's a few minutes more? Let's chip up a few more shots and see if any of them land on the green.
I want you to all look at this logically and consistently.
We have. Guilty.
I want to know. Is this kid smart or is this kid dumb?
What do you mean?
This is a kid who has gone to reform school for knife fighting. The night of the murder, he bought a knife, a switch knife. Now this has to be a very stupid kid to murder a man, his father, with an instrument that everyone would associate the kid with.
Okay, I quite agree. He's dumb.
However, if he were dumb, then why did he make the kind of wound that an inexperienced man would make with a knife?
I'm not sure I understand.
To murder someone takes great hatred, great emotion, and in that moment, a trained knife fighter would handle the knife as he had been trained. Underhand. A man who had not been trained would go overhand. But that kid was being very smart. Everyone knows he is an experienced knife fighter, so in that moment, he was smart enough to make the kind of wound that an amateur would make. That man is a smart man. Smart enough to wipe away the fingerprints, and smart enough to wait for an L train to go by, in order to block out the noise. Now, is this kid smart or is this kid dumb?
Now, wait a minute.
Well, the woman across the L train saw the murder through the L train. Maybe somebody on the L train saw the murder as well.
A possibility, but no one did that we know of.
It would take an awfully dumb man to take the chance of murder as the L train was going by.
Exactly. A dumb man. A very stupid man. A man swept by emotion. He probably didn't even hear anything. He probably didn't even hear the train coming. But whoever did kill his father did it as well as he could.
So?
The kid is dumb enough to do the killing. The kid is dumb enough to do everything that associates himself with a knife. A switch knife murder. But the moment after the murder, he becomes smart. He's smart enough to make the kind of wound that would lead us to suspect someone else. But yet at that same instant, he is dumb enough to do the killing as an L train is going by. And then once again, he is smart enough to wipe away the fingerprints. That kid is smart. For this kid to be guilty, you have to say he is dumb from 8 o'clock to about midnight. Then at about midnight, he is smart for 1 second, then dumb for a few seconds, then smart again, and then once again becomes stupid. So stupid that he could not think of a good alibi. To say this kid is guilty, you have to toss his intelligence like a pancake. There is a doubt. Doubt, doubt, doubt.
I never thought of that.
And the old man on the stand, he swore, he insisted that it only took 15 seconds, but we all agreed it took about 40 seconds.
Does the old man lie half the time and doesn't tell the truth the other half the time?
To say this kid is guilty, you have to say he is smart, then dumb, then smart, and so on. And to make this kid guilty, you have to say the old man lies half the time and tells the truth the other half the time. You can reasonably doubt.
I'm sold on reasonable doubt.
I think I am too.
I want more talk and I bought it.
I want to call for another vote.
All right, another vote is called for. Anybody object? Suppose the quickest way is a show of hands. All those voting not guilty, raise your hand. Nine. All those voting guilty? 9-3 in favor of acquittal.
I do not understand you people. How How can you honestly think that this kid is innocent? You know how these people lie. They don't know what the truth is. God. You know, and they don't need any big reason to kill someone either. These people get drunk, and then bang, someone's lying in the gutter. And no one's blaming them. You know why? Because that's just how they are. That's just how they are. Violence. They are violent people. And for most of them, it's like they have no feelings. They don't understand human emotion in the same way that we do. Listen to me. There are a few. I'll be the first to say that. There are a few people that are kind of okay. They've got some good stuff about them. But that's the exception. For most of them, it's like they don't have any feelings. It's like they can do anything they want. Listen to me. I am trying to tell you something. You know what? No. There's not a single one of them who's any good. This kid on trial, I am warning you right now, this kid on trial, he is...
Shut your mouth or I'll shut it for you. Everybody take a seat. I still believe this boy is guilty. The most damning evidence was given by the woman across the street who claimed that she saw the boy kill his father.
That's right. As far as I'm concerned, that's the most important testimony.
All right, let's go over her testimony then. What exactly did she say?
I believe I can recount it accurately. The woman went to bed at around 11 o'clock that night. Her bed is right next to the window. From her window, laying down, she could see straight across into the boy's apartment. She tossed and turned for over an hour, until finally, getting up at around 12:10. She looked out the window and saw the boy stab his father. To me, this is unshakable testimony.
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole case.
What do you think?
All right, maybe. There's so much evidence to
What do you mean, maybe? He's absolutely right. You can throw out all the other evidence.
I don't know.
May we say that on one side of the tracks there's a reasonable doubt. But what can you say about the woman's story? She saw it.
What time is it?
10 minutes of 6.
Don't you think they let us go home and finish in the morning? I'd let him go with Mom's.
Not a chance.
Can't you see the clock without your glasses?
Not really.
Oh.
And glasses are a nuisance, aren't they?
Well, what do you all do when you wake up in the middle of the night and want to know what time it is?
Well, I put my glasses on and I look at the clock.
I just wait for the alarm clock to chime. My father gave it to me when me and my wife got married.
Do you wear your glasses to bed?
Of course not. No one wears their glasses to bed.
The woman who testified wears glasses. What about her?
Did she wear glasses?
Ah, yes, she wore bifocals. I remember they looked very strong. How could I forget?
That's right, bifocals. She never took them off.
Funny, I never thought of that.
I think it's logical to say that the woman does not wear her glasses to bed. And I don't think she put them on to glance casually out the window. She testified that the murder took place the instant she looked out the window, and the lights went out a split second later. She couldn't have time to put her glasses on then. Now, supposing this woman really did think she saw the killer, saw the father get murdered by his son, I say she only saw a blur.
How do you know what she saw? Maybe she's farsighted. How does she know all these things?
Is there anyone here who still does not think that there is not a reasonable doubt?
Listen, I will always wonder, but there is a doubt.
Well, I think he's guilty.
Does anyone else?
No, I'm convinced. There's a reasonable doubt.
Seems to be about 11 not guilty, 1 guilty.
You're alone.
I don't care whether I'm alone or not. I have a right.
Yes, you have a right.
Well, I told you, I think the kid's guilty. What else do you want?
Your arguments.
I gave you my arguments.
We're not convinced. We're waiting to hear more. We have time.
What's the matter with you? You're the guy. You make all the arguments. A guilty man's gonna be walking the streets. A murderer. He's gotta die. Stay with me.
I'm sorry. I'm convinced. I'm not usually wrong, but I guess I was this once. There's a reasonable doubt in my mind.
They're waiting.
You're not gonna intimidate me. I'm entitled to my opinion. It's gonna be a hung jury, that's it.
There's nothing we could do about that, except that maybe hope that a few nights, maybe a few months, while you might get some sleep.
You're all alone.
Takes a great deal of courage to stand alone.
And if it is a hung jury, some of us will point out these facts to the various lawyers.
All right. All right.
They're waiting. Not guilty.
Not guilty.